afraid of the dark, are you? Are you scared? I can see you from behind.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to create a makeup look for you guys. Obviously it's Halloween inspired. Now this is like clown makeup mixed with skull makeup mixed with a bit of glitter and glam, because I don't know, I like to add glam whenever I can. I was inspired by this makeup look, and this is the image that I was kind of going from. I actually don't know who owns this image. If anybody does, please let me know so I can link it down in the comments. So I've obviously changed the red lipstick to adding a bit of like a goldy sort of a color in, and yeah, I had so much fun creating this makeup look for you guys. I'm sorry this tutorial is probably going to be a long one, but I will try and edit it to be like as quick as I can. The main reason that I wanted to create this makeup look is because you don't really need to rush out to the shop to buy anything to create it. You pretty much should have everything in your makeup kit that you've already got at home. So that's why I created something like this today. If you guys want to see how I created this makeup look, then just keep watching. Now before you ask, I've just literally finished doing my fake tan, so I am wearing a towel at the moment. I'm going to start by priming my face. So today I'm just going to be using my new Nars Radiance primer. Ignore the frizziness that's going on with my hair as well. I just washed my hair last night and it's always like a little bit frizzy when I've just washed it. The foundation I'm going to be using today is the Maybelline Superstay. This one's in the shade 46 Warm Honey. I'm going to mix that with my Niod, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, photography fluid. I've just remembered I haven't actually wet my beauty blender, so I might just spray it with some MAC Fix Plus because I'm feeling a little bit lazy. You guys can probably hear a whippersnapper type thing going on outside my room. That's really gonna drive me nuts. That's so annoying. Anyway, I can't really do anything about it, and I really wanted to film like a Halloween makeup look today, so I'm gonna work with it. So I've just got one pump of the foundation. I'm just gonna add one little drop of the photography fluid. I'm actually so excited to be doing something different on my channel. I feel like I need to make my foundation a tiny bit darker, so I might actually mix two shades. So I'll use that Warm Honey and I'll use a little bit of the True Caramel as well. So I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of this one over the top, just to sort of warm it up a little bit and make it a little bit darker. I'm gonna conceal a little bit around my eyes now, so I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape. Can't wait for these lash extensions to come off. Had enough of them. I feel like that's looking a little bit too pale, so I'm going to add a little bit of the Makeup Revolution C11 concealer. I'm just going to kind of add that to the edges of that concealer. I might just warm it up a little bit and make it not look so bright and white. I'm just going to set that concealer now with a little bit of the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder. This one's in the shade Nude. I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is the semi-sweet one. This is obviously very loved. This was actually one of my first palettes I ever purchased that was like a high-end palette. So the first shade that I'm going to go in with is this one here called Peanut Butter. Alright, the next shade that I want to use is this one here called Truffled. So I'm pretty much just going to put that in the same area but just a little bit lower, so not as high up in the crease. I'm going to add a little bit of that to like the outer corner and then sort of blend it across my eye. Alright, so I'm just going to deepen up that outer corner just a little bit more. So I'm going to take the shade in the top corner here called Hot Fudge. Alright, I'm getting like a bit of fallout going on, but I think it'll be okay because I'm going to be like smoking out underneath my eyes anyway. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of the black shade now, and I'm just going to pack that on the outer corner. Just a really small amount, just to darken that up a little bit. I want to add a bit of dimension. When I've got almost nothing left on the brush, I'm just going to kind of go over my crease a little bit. I've decided I just want to warm up the crease just a little bit, so I'm going to go in with a mix of these two shades here. So this is just the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and just blend them. Yeah, that looks so much better. Just sort of over the top. I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm just going to put a bit of that on my hand. So I'm going to start out by just placing some of that on my lid there. And then I'm just going to look up. And see how that's kind of added a line up there? That'll just show me where to do my cut crease. So I'm going to go in and just add some of this gold shade here just to set that concealer. And then over the top, I'll apply some glitter glue and a bit of glitter to make it a little bit more intense. So now I'm just going to take this shade here again from the Jaclyn Hill palette. So this will just help blend it all together and make it look really seamless. Alright, so I'm just going to take a smaller brush now and go back in with the black on the outer edge. Now I'm going to take a bit of the glitter glue. So this is just the next one. I'm going to put a bit of that on the back of my hand. The glitter that I'm going to be using today is just from MAC. So this is called Bronze AB7. I'm going to take a little bit of that glitter glue and pack that over the gold. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the NYX setting spray to just spray that glitter and hope it doesn't fall out all over my face. Now I'm just going to take the tattoo liner by Kat Von D. This one's in the shade Trooper. So I'm just going to line the top of my eyes, ready to apply false lashes. I find that this one is not the best for drawing over the top of glitters. It would be better to use like Inglot gel liner, but mine's kind of run out. Now I'm going to take the Rimmel mascara Scandalized Reloaded, I don't know, just the orange one, and I'm going to apply a little bit of that to my top lashes. I do have lash extensions on, but they're so ready to come off and they're looking not black, so to help them blend into false lashes a bit more, I'll apply a bit of mascara. So the lashes that I'm going to apply today are from Selfish Beauty. So these are the ones called Sem. These are my new favorite lashes. They're actually so pretty. So now I'm going to do my brows. I want my brows to be black. Now I'm just going to take an Australis black eyeliner and just start doing my brows. Alright, so I'll just quickly do the same on the other eye. Alright, so I kind of want to add little strokes out going from my brow. I'm going to take Truffled, and this is on my Morphe M508 brush. So I'm going to do 2 little flicks. Alright, so then with the brown pencil, I'm just going to kind of line it a little bit on that side. Alright, so I'm just going to sort of start carving out my forehead a little bit, just kind of like with those skeleton sort of shapes. So this part's going to take a little while because I will have to be doing sort of shading and stuff like that. Look how crazy I look right now. Alright, so I'm going to go in with this Truffled Brown shade again from the Too Faced palette. And then I'm just gonna use the same brush and just sort of pull that color over just to kind of blend it a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with an actual brush, using that same shade, blending just inside that line. So once I've sort of blended, I'll go in with like a darker shade on the edge just to deepen it up a little bit. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back in with that first brush that I was using, and this time take the black. And I just want to make it quite dark along the edge. I might even just sort of go to here and then blend it out. I'm just pretty much going to do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll continue with my blending once I know how it's kind of looking. Might add a bit more black into this side. And then I'm going to go back in with some brown as well, just to make it not so intense. So I'll sort of add the brown back a little bit further and like not too close to the line. Alright, so I'm just gonna, this looks crazy. I'm gonna smoke out a little bit underneath my eye. So I'm gonna go back in with this shade here. I'm just going to go back in with the Australis liner now. So I'm going to line my waterline. And then just going back in with a Morphe M508 brush, I'm going to go in with the black shade and just get that as close as I can to under my lash line. This is actually starting to come together. I was getting a bit worried when I first started. Okay, so I want to start sort of carving out the skull eye shape. And I'm going to be taking the shade Truffled again, just on that same brush I've been using for like most of this look. And then I'm going to just, oh, my eyes just went so blurry just then. I'm going to draw it down the side of my nose. So I like to start with the brown first, and then I can deepen it up with the black right along the edges. I find it easiest to do it that way. And then I'm going to sort of cut in. So I sort of want to leave this bit really faint, so I'll kind of go in over that bit when I've got less product on my brush. Alright, so I'm going to go in and just start blending the edges a little bit, and then I'll add in some black. Alright, so using the same brush now, I'm just going to add a bit of black into that area. So I just start by lining the edges, and then I just use that brush to kind of drag the colour back a little bit just to smoke it out. So then I'm just going to go in and add a little bit more of the black. Okay, so I'm pretty much just going to do exactly the same thing to the other eye, but a slightly different shape. So I won't show you again how I do it, because otherwise this video will be like 10 hours. Okay, so I'm going to do like a little point just above my eyebrow on this side with my liquid liner. And then, you know what, I might actually colour it in with the other black, so I don't waste too much of my liner, and I'll just use the liner to like make the edges perfect. Alright, now I sort of want to draw some eyelashes underneath this eye. Okay, it's working, but I have to put my head on like a really weird angle. Alright, so now it's time to sort of carve out my cheek area. So once again, I'm going to go in with the brown shade, and then I'll deepen it up with the black. Alright, so I'm going to kind of go from here and then drop it down. Just pulling down on that brush over the shadow that's already there to blend it out a little bit. I'm going to brush off any of the excess colour before I blend this out, because I don't want it to be too dark. You know what? I don't want it to be too intense, so I might actually add some of this colour instead of adding brown. Alright, so first I'm going to go in and just line my lips. This is with the Naked liner from MAC. Alright, so I've decided first I'm going to go in with this Stila glitter, which is called Gold Goddess. I'm going to put this all over my lips. Then I'm going to go in with some of the NYX glitter glue. So I'm going to pack that all over my lip. So now I'm going to go back in with the matte glitter that I used all over my eyes. Alright, I'm going to go back to the Australis liner, and I'm going to line the outside of my lips really carefully. I thought that I was just holding my phone up as my mirror, but I can't see anything in it. Alright, so I just want to sort of blend that out a little bit. So I might just add a little bit of shadow, black shadow. Alright, so I'm going to sort of like just thicken up that line a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to start kind of drawing like little lines, almost like teeth on my face. So I'm going to start by doing one in the center of my lips. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of white eyeliner between some of these little black lines on the outer edges. I feel like it'll just give it like a little bit of extra dimension. Alright, so pretty much the last thing to do now is I want to add like a little skeleton sort of a nose. I'm going to start by drawing a circle on the tip of my nose, and inside that circle I'm going to apply some of the same glitter just to kind of tie it all in. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter just in this little spot here. So once again, applying some glitter glue and then putting the glitter in that little spot.
Follow me.
Now I just want to go in with a little bit of highlight. This is just my Feelin Myself palette from Ofra. So I'm going to go in with this shade here in the middle. And I'm just going to add that to like certain spots of my face where I want to be a little bit highlighted. Alright, so I'm going to use a smaller brush now and put some of that underneath my brow bone. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to put a lot of that under my brow bone. And I'm just going to add like just a tiny bit into these areas of my head as well. I don't know how, it's kind of like impossible to do a tiny bit of this highlight, but... So this brings us to the end of today's tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching something super different on my channel. If you guys want me to film any other Halloween looks, then just comment anything down below. I'm keen to give any other sort of looks a try. The main reason I did this sort of look is because I wanted to create a look that you guys can easily recreate using makeup that you already have in your kit, rather than going out buying special effects like latex and blood and things like that. So I just created something that's quite simple to follow, I guess, like step by step. Like always, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy watching my videos, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you guys in my next video.